How's it going, guys? Today I want to talk about the one problem with Photon strategy. Now, I've been trading with Photon strategy for about 3 years now, and keep in mind I've been trading for about 5 years, and I've realized this one thing that made me keep going in this cycle of being profitable and unprofitable for about 3 years. Don't get me wrong, I've made multiple 1K payouts with prop firms like FTMO, my forex funds, which we already know has been shut down. And now I've been in this cycle of being unprofitable and profitable. And maybe some of you guys might know what this problem is, or maybe some of you guys are curious and want to know, hey, what is this problem, so I could maybe avoid this problem or know what to come when learning Photon's strategy. Now, in this video, I'll be breaking down exactly what this problem is and what I did to fix this problem. Now, before I start, don't forget to hit the like so you could spread this video out to other people who also trade Photon's strategy and are unprofitable and need help. All right, this right here is my journal. Don't worry, I'll be getting into what the problem was. So this right here is my journal. Now, I've been using this journal for a while now, and I started realizing certain things. Now, with this journal, how this journal works is I mark down my trade. I put the pair that I was using, and I put if it was a loss or a win. I put how much was the risky reward, the max risky reward, how far it went. I put the time frame, so on and so on. There's multiple like indications on my journal, so I can refine my trades as much as possible. I even put pictures, the news, the session I trade. I put all of those. Now, the reason why I do this is this journal is like a second brain. Like if you have a complicated strategy, you would need a journal exactly like this, because with this journal, the beautiful part about this journal is what you could do is filter out certain things to see what works and what doesn't work. Now you guys are starting to get an idea of how I found out what the problem was. Now, I took about like 243 trades with this journal, and my current win rate is a 27%, targeting a 1 to 4. And at the end of the year, that's about 82% win rate and average of 0.34% per trade. Meaning that basically, if you were to think about it like this, every one trade I take, I make around 0.34%. Now, this is showing you that this is profitable, especially with this 27% win rate. You're probably thinking, how come a 27% win rate is so profitable? Now, the reason why it's so profitable is because I target 1 to 4s, mainly 1 to 4s. I sometimes track how far a price went. Sometimes it goes like crazy for like a 1 to 12, but I mainly target 1 to 4. That's enough of the yapping. Let me give you an example of how this journal works. Okay, so I was trading a USD shaft for a while now. I thought I had a high win rate with USD shaft, but turned out I didn't have a high win rate with USD shaft. And the only way I was able to find that out was with this journal. Now, with USD shaft, I have a 20% win rate. Now, this is where my strategy start becoming unprofitable, a 20% win rate. Now, as you can see, the sum is negative 1.51 at the end of the year, average of negative 0.02. Now, that is terrible. I thought I was profitable with USD shaft. So what that tells me is I shouldn't trade USD shaft. So when it is not USD shaft, when it's mainly my other pairs, my win rate skyrocketed to a 31% with an average of 0.50%, meaning that every trade I take, I make about 0.50%. Now, my win rate increased because of this journal. I can talk about this journal all day because of how amazing it is. It's like a second brain. Why wouldn't you want a journal like that? But I have to get to the point of what I was talking about. Now, before I continue, 170 trades, 31% win rate, boom, boom, boom. so on and so on. I could even do more refinements to increase this win rate even higher, maybe 40%, but it's kind of more complicated than that. One more thing, let me see, session time, New York session. That increased my win rate by like an extra 2%, average a little higher. But let's get to what the problem is. Now, let's go back in time. So, what I realized the problem is for the past 3 years, every time I get to the first and second quarter of the year, my win rate tends to drop like crazy. Let me give you this example. June, the first 2 quarters of the year, my win rate tends to drop. My win rate went to a 26%, which is just a little bit, but that kind of changes a lot because I get more of a losing streak in the first quarters, the first and second quarter of the year. Now, compared to the second quarter of the year, you would see that my win rate is, my win rate is way higher. You see how my win rate was down by like a 26% and it went straight back up to 36%. This journal helped me realize that, hey, maybe the first quarter and the second quarter of the year is not the best time to trade or target a 1 to 4. So what I did to fix this exactly is I decided, hey, maybe I should target a 1 to 2 instead of a 1 to 4 in the first quarter of the year. In the first and second quarter of the year. And when I looked through my journal and I tested that out in my journal, remember when I showed you the max risk reward that I also take note of? This kind of takes more of more calculations. So when I target more of a 1 to 2 mainly, let me just add, this is 170 trades right now. So let me just put most of my losing trades. That's all my losing trades. Now that is 83 losses. And if you subtract 83 from 170, let me do some quick math. That would be 90 something. I'll be 90 something, which means I have higher wins targeting a 1 to 2, and that's like probably around a 52% win rate, 52%. And also, I did not use that much filtering, which means it could be higher. So basically, in the first quarter of the year, first and second quarter of the year, I'll target a 1 to 2. And honestly, I might stick to a 1 to 2. Reason being is because if you think about it, if you have a 1 to 4 risk to reward, you can only risk 1% because your win rate is lower to pass challenges. You can only risk 1% to pass challenges because you're expecting to lose more. Now, yes, you can make more, but you're expecting to lose more trades out of making more. Now with the 1 to 2, I can risk 2% on my prop firm challenges, which would speed up the process because I have a 50% win rate and I would take less losses, thus having a lower probability of blowing the account. So I might stick to a 1 to 2. Now at first it kind of felt off thinking about switching to a 1 to 2 when I've been mainly trading a 1 to 4 for the longest. It was kind of a off turn to like switch from a 1 to 4 to 1 to 2. maybe you should try it to see if it helps, because maybe you are still unprofitable and you're dealing with this problem because you're targeting too high of a risk to reward. Now, that's what I will be doing to fix this problem. There's other things I could talk about that could help me fix the problem, because my journal could show me other ways I could fix the problem, which I'm also already working on. But those are other topics I could talk about in another videos, or if you guys comment for more about this topic, I will probably make a different video about this. But yeah, so saying that I did just start posting YouTube videos a couple months ago. I took a long break because I was trying to figure out this issue. Saying that I recently started posting videos, you guys don't really trust my profitability, which is very understandable. So I'll be doing a challenge where I start a 25k challenge. Reason why I'm starting for a low amount of number is to be more relatable to you guys. I'm not saying you guys are broke or anything, just relatable to most people who prefers to start with a 25k account, or not a 25, with a lower account, affordable account. Now, starting with this low of an account will maybe inspire some of you guys to understand that you don't need such of a big account to start making a lot of money, because I'll start with the lower account and I use that account, the profits from that account, to help me fund the higher accounts. So it's going to be a long journey, so subscribe to stay tuned to this journey. And I'm open to see some of you guys in my next video. Some of you guys will comment on my video in my next video. And also, if you want the journal that I was talking about, this journal, a free template with no trade logs in here, I'll post it below the comment section. And before I go because I know some of you guys might definitely want this journal, I will show you guys how to quickly remove certain things and use the filter. Now, this right here is where the filter is. You click this tab right here, and then if you go over here, you can add a new filter from any of these confluences. You can remove anything, and also you could, it's not that hard, you could add something else to your filter. For example, you go right here at the end, you add a new property. You select the type of property. This right here is you only being able to put one thing in the property, and this right here you can put multiple selections. That's basically what it is, depending on which property you select. So yeah, so you can add these, or you might want to delete something from here. You can delete, but I'll be posting my journal at in the bottom of my video. So thank you for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next video.